When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, peak flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets, fool?
That's a close encounter of what kind?
Ready, set, steady, bang.
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Turn it up, y'all, peak flow.
Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Check 41. Back. Shoot. Watch the safety creep. Patch it.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here, Kill.
A give running right. Drake. Finding room at the 30. And down right around the 37. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 37-yard line. They had trouble stopping the run last week at a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
On first down, Drake. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
It's 2nd and 8.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 37. Check 37.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 29.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll run with Drake. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive scripts, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now they try the right side here. He will push his way down to about the 14. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Drake. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Ready, ready! Recon, 132 fighter, 30 base. Hey, Wahoo! Y'all playing the wrong football. Hey, 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 fish 6-6, bullet high, lead grip, lead grip.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Steps away to his left. He's going to hit. Oh, and coughed it up. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he slings one that's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29.
Go, go.
Second and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. They'll set up a throw. From the left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
70, Indy, you draw quarters.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch twist. Watch twist. Watch twist. Twist, twist.
Ready, ready.
They'll drop to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Texans nothing.
Down. 10 logo. Bravo.
Now back to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really frequent combination. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. Back to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. On the return, Harris.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's go now.
Houston's
50,
offense
play.
already at the line, set to get going. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ready. Check. Got you, boy. I got you, boy.
On first down, Drake. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
This is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Back to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this is now a 1-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd down, it's Drake. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now a handoff looking right, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
X3, 218, chop. Ready.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready. 70, Indy. Topper. Hey, Zoo. Snap.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get the first out here as he's up to the 14. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. They've got his man complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45.
Go. 3 down. Hey, Echo.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Protein spill.
Mike's 50.
They'll look to throw here. And the catch made by Hopkins. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll look to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jerome Baker make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They'll throw now on the final play. That is caught inside the 5. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Looking to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He'll drop to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. He's got Fuller. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. It's their quarterback. Keeping it himself on the quarterback sneak. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is now 13. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now on first down, Drake again. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6. He goes underneath the Drake. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a first down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
King now on 1st and 10. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down. It's Drake, and he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Makes the score Texans 23, Dolphins 17.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Let's go.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
50's the mic. 50. Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Come, baby. Woo! Hey, let's go.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Y'all not ready. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I want that.
Again.
And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first.
Let's go.
Down. 70, Indy.
Pretty quiet.
Shoot. 80 weapons.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Hey, Alpha.
50, Mike 50. Too little, cupcake.
5.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back now in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Thomas has got it. Complete.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
yardage.
yards.
Okay.
The Texans on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. He finds his target, Fuller. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll set up a throw, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and forever.
Stay with your man.
Now.
They'll drop the throw. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Drake. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. Sanders on for the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter.
Makes the score Dolphins 24, Texans 23.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Johnson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Now.
Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Go.
2nd and 9 now. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to throw now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Texans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now back to throw. And he's going to go down again. Jerome Baker in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. This is taken at the 15. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at their 49-yard line.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
Joker. You got tape. You got tape right there. Alert 3.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Let's bring it. Whip.
They'll run on first down. Drake, and he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 27 yards there, a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. On 2nd down now, it's Drake. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown puts them up 7. But now's when the fun begins, partner, because if you go ahead and kick the extra point, it's still a 1-possession game. Go for 2, you might put it out of reach.
Yeah, a little decision to be made. Sanders now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
Makes the score Dolphins 31, Texans 23.
out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Incomplete from the contact. He was covered by Trey Williams.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for Miami, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis.
Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my